Hey class, my name is Trisha, and I'm going to talk about the Inuit and the Yanomami groups for my final essay. So here we go. First, we're starting with the Inuit. Excuse me if I sound a little stuffy. I have a little cold, but I thought I would just insert some pictures so you guys can get a glimpse of who I'm speaking about. And here's a group of 9 Inuit posing for a photographer in 1913. And basically, this is who they were. The Inuit were known as people, or also Eskimos, and they resided in the Arctic region. They got their name from the Abenaki Indians, which means eaters of raw fish, which these people were their neighbors, and they kind of found the term offensive, the term Eskimo offensive. They occupied the lands that exceed 12 million miles from parts of Siberia along the Alaskan coast and across from Canada's tree line. The basic survival of these people based on the methods and tools that they created and utilized within their environment. And the language spoken by them was called linguistic change, which is understood by all parties who spoke the Inuktitut dialect. For housing, they had two forms of housing, and that was dependent on the weather. So during the warmer months, they lived in huts, and they had tents made from animal skin, which was stretched over a frame. And amid cold months, they had homes which were built as igloos out of snow bricks. For food consumption, they were mainly carnivores, and because of the lack of greenery around them, they had no choice but to survive food, off of meat. So their consisted of hunting and fishing, and they mainly ate fish, whales, horses, and most walruses. Um, I found it intriguing that similar to today, their pets were their livelihood. A lot of people today love their pets, and so did they back then, except for their pets were mainly used for their strength and resilience and for survival. They needed the pets to get across the snow and maneuver across the ice, so they had to have their pets. And the second group I decided to speak about was called the Yanomami. And these individuals, here's a picture of them. I thought it was really cool to see the moms with their children. The Yanomami was a tribe of indigenous people who lived back as far as 1759, and they mainly reside within the Orinoco Basin of southern Venezuela and the Amazon Basin of northern Brazil. This group of population spoke the language that they speak is very hard to understand. It's not like many. It's in a sense secretive. And Professor Wells mentioned that this word can one word can mean an entire phrase or an entire sentence. So it's kind of hard to grasp their dialect. There is also an unexposed group called the Moxie Tato, which is they are in the Yanomami territory, but they're not seen quite frequently. And for housing, these individuals they stayed in villages or smaller groups known as shabonos, which consisted of 50 to 400 individuals throughout the Amazon forest. And these circular homes, which also had a second name, which were called llanos, were used for activities, feasts, games, rituals, to sleep, to cook, to eat. Basically, everything that they needed for survival were in their huts or their homes. And in the background of the middle picture, you can see, I was trying to figure out where they slept, but you can see some of their hammocks hanging there. So that was pretty cool. For the food consumption, it was nothing like the Inuits diet. They had a wide variety of different things. They had meats, they had plantains, corn, seeds, deer, fowls, monkeys, armadillos, wildflowers, cassava, all different types of variety of food. And something I found interesting was that they have a threat there's a recent threat that's going around that's threatening their livelihood. We have a lot of illegal gold miners, and we also have a lot of cattle ranchers coming and they're digging and creating swamps, which brings in diseases such as malaria, tuberculosis, measles, and anything. And the government is not really providing aid. They're actually going to pass a bill that would allow large scale mining. So I thought that was kind of interesting to hear their side of the story. And if I can, I'll insert a video so you guys can see their side of the story as well. But that's